26th of May, 2021, the servant of God, Dr. Ndlovu, gave a prophetic warning about another conflict he saw flaring up between Israel and Palestine. The following are his words.
We should continue to pray for Israel and Palestine because I keep seeing another flare up in the near future, despite the ceasefire that was attained recently. So let us continue to pray for these ancient nations of Palestine and Israel so that God can break through for them in terms of lasting peace, so that the gospel in that region will be preached and that there will be peace throughout the world.
Again, on the 1st of January, 2023, the servant of God, Dr. Ndlovu, gave a prophetic warning about a conflict between Israel and some of its neighbors. These were his words.
The Lord has also shown me during times of prayer and meditation that serious troubles and disturbances in the Middle East may arise due to certain unwise policies of Israel. So I saw the devil. I saw a vision of Satan himself. I don't like to speak about angels that I see in the vision, but this time around I have to speak so that you understand the severity of the situation. I saw the devil with some of his principal demons or angels in mid-air over the nation of Israel. They were discussing how they can obsess the new government in Israel there to make wrong policy moves which will disrupt peace in that region. Hallelujah. So Israel is being resisted by Satan. And even as we are committed to praying for Israel, it is our duty as watchmen and watchwomen to give warnings so that certain errors they can be rectified before they are even made. Hallelujah. So I saw this new Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, his reign seriously disrupted by bitter conflict between Israel and certain neighboring countries. Certain neighboring countries, they may decide to attack Israel, especially this year. Hallelujah. Because of certain policies that they will begin to implement. So we must watch and pray. The situation will become very precarious for people who dwell in Israel there. I saw missile after missile being fired into Israel. And certain countries, some regional powers, they were involved in that conflict. The same way certain powers are involved in the conflict between Ukraine and Russia. The conflict between Ukraine and Russia is no longer between Ukraine and Russia. It's now between Western countries and Russia in Ukraine. Hallelujah. So I saw certain regional powers in the Middle East get involved in what is going on in Israel because of certain policies which angered them, which had been implemented. And certain countries which have been friendly towards Israel turn against Israel, as if overnight. They will sit in a meeting. I saw them seated in a meeting after the Israeli leaders yielded to the promptings of these demonic principalities that I'm talking about. And then quickly these Arab countries, they gathered and they were rallying behind the people of Palestine. So we must pray for peace. Hallelujah. In Israel. Because if there is instability in Israel, it will affect all of us. I know when you are looking at Israel and Palestine, those are two tiny countries, but they've got a lot of impact on global peace. So I believe God shows us this so that we can pray for restraint for restraint in the political leadership or administration in Israel, so that they exercise restraint. Otherwise, the disruptions that I saw may actually collapse their government within a very short space of time. The disruptions may be very severe if they implement these policies that I'm talking about at the instigation of evil spirits, because evil spirits have got all sorts of ideas on how human beings can ruin their peace. Even at personal level, demons will obsess you to make certain foolish decisions, to create trouble for yourself, or to create trouble with God, because God is just. So if Israel is unjust towards her neighbors, there is no way in which a just God can wink at Israel, because God is just. I want you to say God is just. Yes, Israel is true. The land of Israel is the promised land, and they have got the places which are mentioned in the Bible, which make the story of the Bible about our salvation come alive when you visit that place. But we must pray for them to exercise wisdom and restraint. Hallelujah. If we don't pray for them, I saw very serious conflict there, which will be difficult for even the Americans and other powerful countries to stop until many people have been killed there. But this time around, unlike in previous episodes where these regional powers were watching, they will be seriously involved. They will be arming whoever will be fighting Israel. The same way the Americans are arming the Ukrainians to fight against Russia. So we'll be having two regional conflicts next to each other, which will collapse the world system. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So we need to watch and pray.
Hello, we begin in Gaza, where Palestinian factions have launched their largest barrage of rockets on Thursday. One person has reportedly died in a strike in Rehovot. This comes as Israel continues to target senior members of the Islamic Jihad armed group. We have Willem Marks joining us from Ashkelon near the border with Gaza. And Willem, we are getting these reports that one Israeli civilian has been killed close to Tel Aviv. But I know you're joining us from Ashkelon, and that is where the rockets sometimes land and sirens are heard. Tell us what's happening right now.
Yeah, during the last 30 minutes or so, there was some intense barrages of rockets, mostly heading north from Gaza. Just behind us, we heard sirens in this immediate area. They've been heard in other nearby towns and communities. We had some shrapnel come down just a short distance away from here, seemingly from one of the intercepted rockets, where the Israeli defense mechanism known as the Iron Dome seems to have intercepted one of those rockets. Another much larger projectile came down very close to the main road, a few hundred yards away from here. And clearly, as we saw some of the rocket launches go up, you could see that some of them were going on a far more steep ascent, indicating they were further range than some of the ones around here, which, you know, we're a few kilometers away from Gaza. It may well be that one of those longer range rockets, one of those projectiles, has reached much closer to Tel Aviv. Israeli media is reporting there have been several injuries and one death in the suburb south of Tel Aviv known as Rehovot. And clearly people here now taking shelter because of that intense barrage over the last half an hour, Doreen.
All right. Thank you. Willem Marks, thank you so much for that update from Ashkelon. Meanwhile, Israeli airstrikes in Gaza have killed a fifth senior leader of the Islamic Jihad armed group. 4 people were injured in the attack that took the life of Ahmad Abu Daqqa. 28 Palestinians have been killed since the strikes began on Tuesday.
The servant of God, Dr. Ndlovu, urges saints and intercessors to continue to pray for peace between Israel and Palestine.
So let us continue to pray for these ancient nations of Palestine and Israel, so that God can break through for them in terms of lasting peace, so that the gospel in that region will be preached and that there will be peace throughout the world.